Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about all things Sussex related. Now, in the last video, we talked about the unhinged reaction the UK tabloids were having to Meghan's decision to skip the coronation and enjoy a peaceful day with her son and her daughter on Archie's birthday. And we also quickly touched on the drag session that Kate got into as a result of that Daily Mail article where Robert Jobson revealed that Kate said, allegedly, that walking besides Harry and Meghan on that walkabout was one of the hardest things that she's ever had to do. Now, soon after that debacle was going on, there was another article written in the Daily Mail, which was out of touch, doesn't even begin to describe how bad it was. In essence, it showed that Kate's distant relation had some sort of involvement in abolition of slavery, but then when you really dig behind the history of it, it's a reach. Am I surprised? No, it's the Daily Mail in an attempt to prop Kate up and take a dig at Meghan. And we know they peddle in like royalist propaganda. That article opened up a fresh wave of criticisms towards Kate.
That whole article just reeks of, our original title for this piece was, Kate couldn't possibly be racist, she has a single black friend. But what they found out when they went digging was that Kate in fact does not have any black friends. And in fact, the only black woman that she spent a significant amount of time around is one that she has disparaged and given the angry black woman label. So they had to dig further, and they found this, which is frankly embarrassing. Don't know, maybe just be nice to Meghan and treat her like a human being, and not somebody you hate. And not somebody that you view as not good enough for your brother.
Y'all remember this from The Guardian last week? Look what the Daily Mail just put out. I was looking for something and stumbled upon this, and God, I wish I hadn't. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, I do. This is an interesting rebuttal to the history of several hundred years of kings and queens in Britain participating in the slave trade. But also, I know you all know this, having a family member that was an abolitionist does not absolve thee of racism. Marrying into a black family as a white person, having mixed race children, does not absolve you of racism. In fact, I'd say you probably have even more work to do to ensure that you do not do harm to your family and children, because there's a lot as white people that we just don't know, and we will never fully understand. Racism is structural. We're all participating in it, or we're working to dismantle it. Here's a line from the article. Although Harry and Meghan have been accused of inferring racism in the royal family, have been accused of inferring racism. There are so... What is the sentence? Okay, continuing. Our future queen has an ancestor who nobly fought the battle to free slaves in America. What does that have to do with racism in the royal family and past royals participating in the slave trade and profiting off of it? It has nothing to do with it. But also, and no offense to Princess Catherine, she doesn't have anything to do with this ancestor. I haven't looked into this ancestor named Harriet, but apparently she became known as, quote, the greatest American abolitionist. Ew, I thought you weren't into Americans. Anyway. But this also continues the trend of giving white people all the credit for abolishing slavery as if they just woke up one day and were like, you know what, owning people is wrong. Again, I have not looked into any of this, but according to the Daily Mail, it was her lobbying of U.S. Presidents James Madison and Andrew Jackson that ultimately set in motion Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. Do y'all know much about Andrew Jackson? Let me tell you. Oh, this part is gross. Okay, hold on. It continues on to say, the declaration that freed the Duchess of Sussex's great-great-great-great-grandfather, Stephen Ragland, from servitude. What are you implying here? This feels really icky. Ugh. I mean, if white savior complex was a tabloid article, this is too much for Friday.
And Black Twitter got a hold of it and dubbed her Karriet Tubman. Now, if you're on Twitter, I know you saw it because it was trending for like 3 days. And the memes and photoshopped images of Kate as a freedom fighter were hilarious. Like, every time I spent like 10 minutes going through all of the posts, just scrolling down on them on Twitter. And it was really hilarious. Again, another hit job towards Kate. Now, I'm not sure if this is just the writers of the Daily Mail trying to take pot shots at Meghan. I don't know if this was some sort of attempt from KP to do some damage assessment and say, well, no, we're not racist. Kate's great relative was involved in the abolishment of slavery. I don't know if this was a dig from Team Charles and Camilla. Who knows with these people? But that was a fresh wave of criticisms for Kate. Now, soon after that, we saw that King Charles decided to add the addition of a 5-year-old photo of the family, including Harry and Meghan, in the Coronation program. And a lot of the royal reporters tried to put that out there as a olive branch. Do I think it's an olive branch? No. I really don't think that Charles cares. And I don't think that any of the leaks, and we're going to get to the latest article from Telegraph in a minute, but I don't think that any of the leaks is really an olive branch. I don't think Charles really cares to fix anything. I think it's just performative nonsense, which is the running theme for the British royal family. I think Charles recognizes that there has been a lot of damage done to him, done to the family, and done to the monarchy by Harry and Meghan revealing all the things that they've revealed in the book Spare, in Netflix, in interviews. He is trying to brand himself as a king who embraces diversity. But here's the thing. When it comes to the members of his family who has an ounce of black DNA in them, Meghan and the children, Charles has done absolutely nothing to defend them, absolutely nothing to help them. He has not made an effort to spend time with those children. I doubt he even has a photograph of himself with Lily or anything older than the one that he had with Archie. Charles had said nothing when Archie was compared to a primate. He has said absolutely nothing when Camilla continues to befriend people who berate and dehumanize Meghan on a daily basis, such as Jeremy Clarkson, such as Piers Morgan, such as Angela Levin. Charles has said and done nothing, and he really thought, and I think they really don't recognize who Meghan is as a person, or truly misunderstand who she is or underestimate her, that they really thought that she was gonna come there with a smile on her face and show up for his coronation so that he and his friends in the media can drag her mercilessly. But she's not the attention seeker that they think she is, and she's definitely not the type of person who is so driven or determined to be in that crowd in the way that you see it's of great importance to the people in that crowd. You know, Meghan is American. She's an outsider. Her whole life, she wasn't groomed to stalk and marry a prince for the sake of a title. Like, she doesn't care about these things. You know, she cares about being respected. So I think he really thought that she was going to come and he can sort of like skirt past the racism issues for a bit and pretend that he is some magnanimous king who embraces diversity. But Meghan choosing not to come and saying, not only am I not coming, my children are not going to be involved in this nonsense as well, really puts a kibosh on that. There's a lot of people who are looking and saying, well, how can you be a king of diversity if these 3 members of your family who are biracial or have black DNA in them are not even in the country to celebrate you, to enjoy this momentous occasion. This is not a good look. So some people are theorizing that Charles and Camilla's team are the ones who are trying to take away from the optics of that by throwing Catherine under the bus. I don't know. Honestly, I think they're all as bad as each other. You know, William, Charles, Kate, and Camilla. They're all horrible. Now, today there was a article from The Telegraph, and a lot of people are thinking that this is from Team Charles and Camilla. And after reading it, I would have to agree. Do I really think that there's a letter? I don't know, possibly. Meghan seems to be the type who likes to write her letters. She likes a paper trail. So the thing is, it's interesting when this letter is being leaked, right? And just as I previously said, I think this is to try to paint Charles as the lesser of two evils. He's saying, hey, I'm not the one that said the very problematic thing about Archie's skin tone. It's obviously somebody else. Wink, wink. The name starts with a W. It ends with an M. It's not me, but I was aware of it. And I've seen some people saying, well, wait a minute. So you put out a statement saying recollections may vary, but now, years after the fact, you're saying that you received a letter from Meghan where she clearly stated her concerns, clearly said the name of the person that she had the issue with, and clearly said that she felt like it was not properly addressed and that she felt that it was racism. So recollections are not varied anymore. You know, the statements of recollections may vary, and much loved members of the family have always rubbed me the wrong way because it's such a load of crap. You don't treat much beloved members of the family the way the British royal family has treated Harry and Meghan and their children. The othering of Archie and Lily breaks my heart and pisses me off in equal measure. And recollections don't vary. Obviously, now you're admitting that she has plainly said it. There is physical evidence of it. So the palace was lying. Ay, ay, ay. The Windsors are a mess. They're a messy, messy bunch. So one wonders what sort of measures Kensington Palace would take to counter that. Because if you've read the article, you can clearly see that this is Charles's attempt to shift some of the attention away from him and paint him in a better light. Doesn't paint him in the best of light, because if you're saying you received this letter where Meghan openly talked about everything, and you have that happened in 2020, it's 2023, and you have done nothing to fix that situation. Now you are the monarch and you still haven't done anything to fix that situation or even attempted to. That doesn't paint Charles in a good light. But also it puts the burden on William. And like I've said before, you're seeing Robert Jobson really doing some heavy lifting for Team Charles and Camilla, right? He was the one, long before Spear came out, that said, yeah, Kensington Palace were the ones that was doing a lot of the nasty leaks about Harry and Meghan. He was also the one who talked about William's incandescent rage, his anger management issues, in a book that he wrote. I believe it was for William's 40th birthday. And I can't stand Robert Jobson. You know, he made that comment about dangling Archie off a balcony. May he burn in hell. But in his upcoming book, he was the one that revealed the comment about Kate finding it the hardest thing to do to walk besides Harry and Meghan in the walkabout. So that's a shot at Kate. What else did he say? And he talked about William's anger management issues once again. So we don't have to guess which team Jobson is on. He is squarely Team Charles and Camilla. And like I've said before, as long as Meghan and the kids are safe and out of that viper's nest, I'm happy. You know, at this point, that's all I care about. You know, I get that Harry is trying to navigate it, and I do not envy him, because you couldn't pay me to be in that world, to be in that situation. And I get why the women before Meghan were like, no, I am not marrying into this, because my goodness, ever since it's been revealed that Meghan and Harry were in a relationship, it has been non-stop abuse towards Meghan from the media, from the palace staff, from that family, from the royalist fandom. It's never ending. I don't know how she does it. Because as a spectator, sometimes I am tired. I need to log off for the day and just get off social media, because sometimes it's a lot. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is Charles trying to rehabilitate his image on the backs of William and Kate? It's not a stretch to imagine, and if you've read Spare, you can guess why I would say that it's not a stretch to imagine. Harry has said, yeah, you know, on occasion, Charles and Camilla will happily use him and William to do some PR.
It's been a minute since I've talked about them, but I did get tagged in some videos, so I will tell you guys my feelings on the news this week that Meghan Markle is not going to Charles's coronation. Good for her. I'm happy for her. She is protecting her peace. I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna piss some people off. Meghan Markle does not owe the royal family or the British people thing. She don't owe you shit. There it is. Like, in that, with that family not doing a f***ing thing to lift a finger or speak a word of support for her after the media has drug her through the mud. Like, I watched enough toxic mother-in-law videos in this app to know that there's a whole lot of you that have disconnected from toxic family members. And you know what? If she wants to do that with them, go right ahead. She doesn't have to share her children with them. And she does not have to be a part of their parade of privilege. Harry's going to support his father. I don't know. That's his choice. She's not going. And good for her. Here's the thing. They know very, very well that it was a no-win situation. They know better than any of us that it didn't matter. If she went, if she didn't go, if he went, if he didn't go, didn't matter. That the press was going to drag them no matter what choice they made. So they're making the choice that I hope is the right choice for them.
The British media will not leave Meghan Markle alone. The focus of this tiny island kingdom should be on the coronation of King Charles the Cruel at the great age of 75. They are making the focus of this want-to-be historic moment Meghan Markle. Here's the thing. She can do no right in their eyes anyway, and I'm so thankful British culture commentator Joanna Jaju said these, let me use their language, these wonky, knackered plunkers straight.
She just didn't want to be booed, did she? That's what this is about. She knew that she was going to enter the Abbey to a wash with boos, actually, I think, from the crowd, and she didn't want to have it.
Well, I think it's interesting that, you know, the narrative has changed, because before, you know, it was that Meghan is such an attention seeker, and if she does turn up to the coronation, it's just because she wants all of this attention and she can't bear not to be associated with the royal family. And now that she's actually done what all you guys have been telling her to do, stay away, now it's that she's gutless, you know, and she can't stand being booed, etc., etc. And actually, I think it's really interesting how the narrative has changed, and I find it quite misogynistic, actually, the way the narrative has changed towards Meghan, because realistically, everybody was saying neither of them should come to the coronation. And now Harry's come in. I haven't heard a peep. I haven't heard one thing from any front page that has said, Harry, you still shouldn't be coming. Nobody wants you here. Instead, all the attention has moved to Meghan. She can't do right for wrong. And it doesn't matter what she does, she'll always be wrong in some people's eyes.
Meghan and Harry are not paid royals. King Charles the Cruel took away their security, financing, and even their British home. Meghan Markle, a Black American woman, owes this man and this country nothing. And I am thankful that she is paying them dust.
Prince William needs Prince Harry and Meghan Markle if the monarchy is to survive. Bold statement, I know, but hear me out before you pop off in the comments. The late Queen famously believed that the royals needed to be seen to be believed, and that the most popular royals are the ones who do the most public engagements. The danger this poses for the current royals, the king included, but I'm really talking about William and Catherine here, is that they increasingly have too few royals to go out and about. And the number of royal engagements has decreased by 40% since the 90s and 25% since 2019. Granted, there was a pandemic in there. There were at least 15 working royals between the time period of 2013 and 2019, and now there's only 11. Of those 11, 7 of them are over the age of 72. And within the next decade, William and Catherine are going to be the only working royals under the retirement age. By that time, Prince George will only be 19, Charlotte 17, and Louis 14. So they won't exactly be of age to take on working royal duties. And let's remember, Prince William was 35 when he became a full-time working royal. Now, of course, they'll probably still have the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, but I suspect as they reach retirement age, they'll probably take on a role similar to the Gloucesters. Additionally, William and Catherine have outlined plans to change the nature of royal outings. They're doing down by cutting the number of projects and visits in order to invest more time and money into causes they support. Causes like mental health, the environment, and children's early years. Their intention is to create a new path for their royal roles. This new model was announced during what was called a Community Impact Day, and the focus is on visits that are extremely significant, meaning they garner large donations and long-term collaborations. And with this plan, William is expected to cut his workforce from 140 to 70. The problem with this is that it is quite literally their job to be out and about in public, interacting with the public, the people who pay them, essentially their employers. And just recently, within the last month, we have barely seen them out at all. Yes, we saw them for Easter, but that's a holiday, not a royal engagement. And with them earning an estimated £20 million from their titles, them doing the bare minimum is not a good look, and I believe will pose a real threat to the monarchy in the future. Now, they may not exactly need Harry and Meghan per se. They could utilize Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, and even Zara, but there's just no way that they're going to be able to minimize royal engagements while earning a massive income and remain in favor with the public. And I know some of you just want to call me a stupid American who doesn't know anything, but all my information is coming from an article that Frank Young, the editorial director of Civitas, wrote this week.
Remember when everybody said that Meghan was going to go to the coronation because she's an attention seeker and she needs this and blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm not even joking. Why would she go? She can stay at her beautiful home in California where it's nice and warm. She can celebrate the 4th birthday of her beautiful child. Or she can go back to a country where her in-laws let the media just verbally abuse her day in and day out. And their silence is a response. Don't come in here with that never complain, never explain crap. And she already has a pretty busy May. Her son's birthday, her 5th wedding anniversary, and she's winning 2 awards. They said they didn't want her there, and now they have their wish.
Meghan Markle needs to stay far away from the UK. Did you know Harry and Meghan's wedding was watched by 1.9 billion people globally? It was the highest viewed royal wedding of all time, and it brought in over $1 billion in tourism and merch sales, making it one of the most successful royal events in history. And therein lies the problem. Meghan is too big a draw, too big a fish for the tiny pond that is the royal family. She made the world stop and stare, not just England. I like to call it the Diana effect. It wasn't that she wasn't good enough for the job. It's that she was too good at the job. Look at those sourpuss back there hating on his wife. Meghan was too well received. She represented the wrong kind of people. She was too loved by the public, too popular to ever play second fiddle. And while before the wedding, it was mainly royal reporters and her gutter rat family that were against her, after their historic ratings-shattering wedding that played out like a Disney-designed fairy tale, it would quickly become the entire institution determined to see her demise. They weren't prepared for what she would mean to us. They didn't expect her to take the work so seriously. They didn't realize she had far more to offer than a pretty face, and they certainly didn't forecast love for Meg deflating interest in the heirs. For the firm, the Markle sparkle was just a little too bright and she worked a little too hard. In their minds, her duty was to shut up, sit back, and smile when told to. But Meghan is not a do-nothing bitch. She came with experience and education, and a natural charisma that allows her to connect and affect real change. She was never going to be a smile and wave girl, a sit down, shut up, and do what we say girl. American women are strong-minded and strong-willed. Freedom of speech isn't just something we say, it's something we mean. Not culturally nor individually was Meghan raised to be a mute mouse that was afraid to rock the boat. She was taught to stand up for what she believes in, even if she's standing alone. She was built for this. And still, in collusion with the press, they tried to break her confidence, destroy her public image, and ultimately end her marriage. Through short-sighted jealousy of both Harry and Meghan, they decided they'd rather fail without them than succeed with them. Then finally, after years of pleading for an impartial press and asking for civility within the family, Sussex drew a line in the sand. Enough was enough. It was time to leave. I truly believe, especially then, but even now, the Duchess is not safe in England.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.